Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the Crucible Cast. It's lovely to be here, and I am Mercedes. This is Brad.
Hi guys.
And this is Josh.
Hi.
And we are here to talk about the Age of Ascension. It is finally upon us, and it will be releasing on May 30th, so coming very quickly.
Yes.
Lots of new exciting things to talk about with regards to that, right?
I know, it's the first new set for KeyForge, and I am out of my mind excited.
Yes, there's lots of really fun things to expect. And one of the coolest things about the release timing on this is the fact that it's going to be premiered at the UK Games Expo, correct?
That it is.
Going to be at a Vault tour. Why don't you tell us some of the fun things that are going on there?
We are going to be live streaming at the UK Games Expo. So the Saturday and Sunday, the 1st and 2nd of June, we are going to be live streaming at twitch.tv/FFG Live all day, UK time.
All day.
All day. So,
UK time.
Yes, UK time. Very important for our viewers that don't live in the UK.
That's because it would be live.
It will be live, yes. But yes, you'll be able to pick it up and watch it if you are in the US. You can wake up in the morning and we'll be partway through our day and it'll still be really exciting. It'll be really cool. You'll be watching people discovering their new combinations with their decks and maybe seeing some cards that you've never seen before. So it's going to be a really cool experience for everybody that's not able to make it to this Vault tour.
Right, because they're going to be able to see like the new combos and stuff that are out there that they might not get immediately with their own decks.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's really going to be able to see Age of Ascension at a competitive level immediately, right upon release, and it's going to be so amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, we have some fun things going on at the store level as well. So for those of you who aren't able to make it to a Vault tour, or this particular Vault tour, I should say, we have a little bonus for you, correct?
Super bonus.
Yeah, a little way to get in on the fun yourself.
Yes.
So tell us about the super bonus.
Super bonus is for chainbound events at your store level, we are going to be giving out 5 times the amount of Æmber shards from May 30th through June 6th. So it is a limited time thing just to celebrate the release of Age of Ascension and to get people really excited to go to a store and play with the new cards that they have and, you know, interact with their community, right?
And get a lot of Æmber shards.
And get a lot of Æmber shards.
Yeah, so they have a 1-week window to do this, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so this sounds really exciting, but I'm curious, are there any kind of details that stores need to be aware of when it comes to this?
Yes, because this is the 30th through the 6th, it goes partway into the first week for your chainbound events and partway into the second. So if you do schedule your weekly chainbound event before Thursday the 30th, you are not going to be able to run another one during that week.
Right, because you can only run one per week.
Yep, from Sunday to Sunday. So for the stores that want to really make sure that they draw in all the players that they want and to be able to give the most Æmber shards to their players, they're going to want to run it between Thursday and Sunday and then early again in the next week so that they can double up and get their players an amount of Æmber shards that they wouldn't be able to get in a couple months' time in that very short window.
That's really good information to have. So thank you for clarifying on that.
And what a wonderful bonus for players, especially when we're in one of the most exciting times to be playing KeyForge in the first place. With new cards and new combinations to find, this is really one of the best times to be getting in and playing KeyForge.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm really excited to go to my local store and play too.
Me too.
All right, awesome. So that's really exciting news about the release of Age of Ascension. And alongside that, we also have a few key features that we're adding to the MasterVault. The first of which is the deck leaderboard.
That is correct.
So we already have the player leaderboard. Yes. So implementing the deck leaderboard works how?
So the deck leaderboard is interesting because player leaderboard, if you've already seen it, it tracks the players' Æmber shards that they've earned at a Vault tour.
Right.
So if I've attended 2 Vault tours and I've acquired a decent amount on both, I'll be on this leaderboard and it will tell me how cool I am, right?
Cool.
But this is different because maybe I'm not that cool and I don't have that many Æmber shards, but I have a really good deck. And Brad is really cool and really good at playing with this deck. So I can bring it to a Vault tour, maybe earn a few Æmber shards with it, and then I can let Brad bring it to a Vault tour and he can crush it. And then the Æmber that we've both earned on this single deck will be reflected on that. And it's really, really cool that you can track the good players and the good decks and see how they correlate with each other.
Yeah, it's nice to see the correlation, but it's nice to see how they perform independently as well.
Yes,
right?
that as well.
Well, it really puts a powerful tool in the player's hands. They can look at exactly how well that deck is doing because, as we all know, a deck and a player are very separate entities, and different players will jive well with one deck or another. And so having a much more clear vision of what decks themselves gives players a window in the metagame they haven't had before.
Yeah,
Excellent.
absolutely.
Well, that's super exciting, and I'm really looking forward to it. I think that when we were conceptually talking about KeyForge and how all of this was going to work, giving it that differentiation between the performance of the player versus the performance of the deck and how all of that works is really, really interesting.
Yeah, and it kind of gives the deck a life of its own, which was always something we wanted for it. It really makes it feel more like an actual Archon, a character living on the Crucible.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, in addition to the deck leaderboard, we're also finally getting our event finder coming to the app.
Finally,
correct?
I'm so excited.
Yes.
Yeah.
So one of the things that makes that particularly interesting and cool is that people will be able to search for stores in their area that are running events. And that way you can figure out what your game plan is going to be and get the most KeyForge in as possible.
So I'm going to be able to find my local chain-bound events
Yes.
through the app itself. I don't have to put my phone down ever.
I mean, do you ever put your phone down?
No, that's good.
But it's really the best way to connect with your local KeyForge community and really see where players are playing.
Absolutely.
Yes, awesome. So, moving on, before we've talked about all of the fun Age of Ascension stuff, and we're going to also be talking about rules updates soon here with Brad. But before we go into that, I wanted to point out something that we discussed in our last Crucible Cast, and that had to do with the packaging of the product itself, the decks that they came in. We showed you guys some examples of a really cool tuck box that had a flap that opened from the side and a little tab that helped secure it closed. Now, that will be appearing, but I just wanted to point out that there are still some variants within the packaging, and we're continuing to improve our manufacturing processes, so I just wanted to make sure that no one was alarmed if you got something that was a little different than what we discussed on the last cast.
That's fair.
Cool?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Awesome. So let's get into those rules.
Yeah.
Brad, so we have a new set coming up, which means rules updates, right?
Sure does.
All right, so we're going to be updating the rules reference. When are we going to be posting that?
The new rules are going to be posted on May 29th, which is, of course, the day before Age of Ascension comes out. That means the players are going to have all the rules they need as soon as they get cards in their hands.
It's almost as if you planned it this way.
Almost. Who'd have thought?
Interesting.
Yeah, we try. Anyway, so you're gonna have a whole new set of rules ready to go for when you start opening and playing your Age of Ascension. And let's talk about some of the questions that have been brought up lately.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of discussion about Mavericks, and one card in particular has been brought up, and that was the Pit Lord.
Yes.
So if you have a Maverick Pit Lord, let me just point out what the Pit Lord does. He is a creature with 9 power. He has no armor. He gets 2 Æmber, and he has taunt. But the text says, while Pit Lord is in play, you must choose Dees as your active house. Now, with regards to Maverick, how does that impact Pit Lord?
So we've been getting a lot of questions about what happens if I get a Maverick Pit Lord and I don't have Dis in my house, or excuse me, on my Archon card. And we thought a lot about it. We talked through the team, and we talked with Richard about it too. And we've decided that when you have a Maverick Pit Lord and you have your identity card and it doesn't have Dis on it, and you don't control a card that belongs to Dis, in this situation, you can't declare Dis. Now, the Pit Lord says must, and now the rules say can't. This creates a true can't versus must conflict, and the can't takes over. And that means you can't be compelled to activate Dis if you don't have it.
So you can use any other house.
Exactly. So if I have a Maverick Pit Lord, no Dis in my deck, I'll be able to activate any of my houses as normal.
Okay, excellent.
Sounds fair.
All right. Now there was another concern about the Drummernaut, correct?
Yeah, in a previous Crucible cast, we had announced that we were going to be eradicating the Drummernaut. And we announced that errata to be play, fight, reap. You may return another friendly giant creature to your hand. Now we've done some additional testing since then, and we'd like to update that errata, but we wanted that to get into the player's hands as soon as possible, especially considering that there's a Vault Tour coming up. Our new errata for the Drummer Nut is going to be play/fight/reap, return another friendly giant creature to your hand. Similar, but slightly different, and it has a very important difference.
Can we discuss the reasons why we decided to make that change?
Yes, we'd love to, and that's why we'll be releasing an article coming out with the new rules update that's going to go through all of our reasoning and justifications for these updates and why they're going to make the game the best it possibly can be.
Yeah, so if you have questions about that, keep an eye out for that article, because we kind of knew that you might be interested to know how these things come about.
Yeah. Now, I do think we have one more order of business before we go, and it is unfortunately sad news.
It is very sad news.
Yeah.
So
This is actually Mercedes' last Crucible Cast with us.
Yes. As much as I love my job and what I do, and I've been so passionate and so lucky to be able to work with such amazing people, working on great games and working with all of you, an opportunity has presented itself, and so I will be leaving the company. And I'm off to new adventures, but I do want to thank all of you for letting me be here, letting me be involved with everything that's going on. And I'm really excited to see where everything goes with KeyForge. And the best part about this, though, is now I can go to the Vault Tours and I can go play against all of you guys.
Well, Mercedes, you're always welcome on the Crucible.
Thank you.
it wouldn't have been the same without you.
That's probably true.
Definitely true.
Definitely true. Well, thank you guys so much. Was there anything else that we needed to cover?
I think we're good.
I think we're good.
All right, so just as a follow-up, we will be streaming the
Yes.
FFG live on Twitch at the UK Games Expo.
Yep. So don't forget twitch.tv/FFG Live, the 1st and the 2nd of June, all day UK time. We will be streaming that Vault Tour.
All right, excellent. So be sure to subscribe, click the bell icon, and be notified when we post new content. And make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. The links for everything we've talked about are in the description below. And I want to say a wonderful, fond farewell to all of you.
Goodbye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us.